My dear friends, this is Dr. Sudhir Sharma bringing you my video number 140, the topic of which is a simple way to be free of fear caused by a person. This is an important topic. We have all met such persons who created fear in us. There may be still people in your lives who are creating fear in your lives. So this topic relates to that. A simple way to be free of fear caused by a person in your life. Such kind of persons can be encountered by us at any age. We see a child who's going to school, he is afraid of the teacher. He is afraid of the bully that is making his or her life hell. In the family, the parents may be causing fear in the mind and heart of the growing child. Sometimes the reverse is also true. The child threatens to harm himself or herself, and parents become fearful of that child. So in the office, the boss may be the cause of fear. He can kick you out of the job, and then you will become really very, very insecure. In the married life, the husband may be, using that violence to subdue, make the wife fearful. The reverse is also again true. The wife may be creating scenes in public with the relatives, and that may cause fear in the mind of the husband because he worries about his reputation, about his image. In the neighborhood, there may be a family or a person who is always looking for trouble, causing trouble in your lives. That person may be a bully, that person may be an antisocial element. He may have some resources which is causing you worries and fear in your mind because he threatens your security. Another very common example is of a newly married girl. When she goes and stays with the in-laws, then the circumstances become such, specially created by one or the other relative, in-laws relative, who may be causing fear in the mind of this newlywed girl. So friends, so far we have seen many reasons by which the people in your life, connected to you in your life, are causing fear in your mind, in your heart. Now let us try and understand the basic reason for such fear arising in our mind. Friends, this is very clear that by thinking about a future situation, future set of circumstances, the harm that may come your way, something that threatens your security, all this thinking in which is involved a very fertile imagination, that is fundamentally responsible for causing fear in your mind, in your heart. The more you think, the more fearful you become. It doesn't matter whether you are trying to find solutions or you are just thinking about the future problems. The fear persists as long as this thinking persists, this imaginative world is active. So it is very, very important to be perfectly clear, very clear about the mechanism that causes fear of a person in our mind and heart. There is an incident which may happen with your boss, with your parents, with your child, with your neighbor, with your friend. That incident creates emotional upset in you. And when that incident is over, you start thinking about it. And then you start finding solutions so that that kind of painful, fearful experience doesn't come again into your life. Now this thinking and the imagination that is going simultaneously with this thinking is creating a future time and a future space in which you are seeing all sorts of different combinations of events, happenings, images. Now this whole mechanism that starts with the happening of an incident, then thinking taking over that incident, then spending days, weeks, months, years in thinking and thinking and thinking about it, this whole mechanism coupled with imaginations, images, coupled with future projections of events and happenings, this whole mechanism is responsible for creating the fear after that incident is over, after that event is over, in your mind with the related to the person who was involved in that conflict, in that confrontation with you. So the mechanism of generating fear in your mind is clear to you. Now let us ask another question. Why is thinking creating fear in your mind? The reason for that is very simple. The thinking is not just thinking, friends. There is a center in that what you call as I, the self, the ego. That center coupled with thinking is responsible for that feeling of fear that comes after the event is over in your mind and heart. This ego, this I, this self is the central image that we have about ourselves, about oneself. And this image is a storyteller, it is the analyzer, it is the solution finder. And this is all the time active in bringing security into your life. But we don't realize that any activity of this ego is basically causing fear. And how is that activity causing fear? The ego is able to control our chemicals in our body, our glands in our body, our image making, our nervous system it is able to control. And with this control in the hand of the ego, I, self, the body starts producing all those chemicals responsible for fear, as if the fear is real, as if it is in the environment, as if a snake is coming, as if a fire is burning that may burn your house, that may burn your important goods and other things. So the body starts producing those chemicals, thinking, because of the thinking, and that thinking is responsible for making use of the machinery of the body, of the brain, and creates fear. I want to make here one very important point clear about thinking mechanism. Thinking mechanism is a very useful tool that we have got. It is able to help us in functioning efficiently, intelligently, to remove the problems, the obstacle in our physical world. But when this thinking starts happening by creating a world of its own inside our heads, then this thinking becomes a problem. We are using the tool in the world that we create by images inside our head. Now this is the wrong use of thinking mechanism, and that is why we have to understand that inside your head, the world that you are creating is responsible for generating fear of a person in your mind, in your heart. So is this point very clear to you, friends? Let us try and understand it with the examples that I have given before. The growing child going to the school, being afraid of a bully, keeps on thinking about that bully, keeps on thinking about what will happen tomorrow. The person who is going to the office and is not seeing eye to eye with the boss is worried about his job. The housewife is worried about the domestic violence. The husband is worried about his image and reputation that can be harmed by the wife. The neighbor who is causing problems in your life and is a very powerful person, you are thinking about that person, creating images about future which is insecure, unhappy, full of discomfort. So all that is going on inside your head, and there you have created a world at the center of which is the ego, the self, and that is able to control your physical body mechanism, producing chemicals which appear to the brain as if a real threat is there in your environment, and it produces those chemicals which cause a feeling of fear, anxiety in your mind and heart. So when this becomes clear to us, the next question, rather two questions that are arising before us is, what do we normally do that is not able to produce a freedom from fear? And number two question is, what is the correct way to respond? That simple way I am going to talk about in this video, the simple way that can rid you of the fear caused by a person in your life. So friends, let's take the first question first. What are the ways in which we try and solve this problem of fear created by another person? The usually adopted way is, our mind does thinking, creates images, creates many solutions, chooses one, then discards it, chooses another, then discards it. All the time the thinking activity is going on in the mind, finding more solutions, choosing one of them, discarding it, and ultimately some action will come by the chosen solution, but that action, if at all it is going to give some kind of relief, it will be a temporary relief. It cannot solve the problem of fear generated by another person from the roots. We may think of taking the help of other people. Now this is also thinking going on, and the other people, the problem with them is that they cannot be always there 24 hours with you, and that again will bring only the temporary kind of a relief. So friends, are you seeing the trap which this thinking is creating inside your head to keep you continuously involved with that feeling of fear? The problem has been created by thinking in the first place. The incident was finished, over, done with, and you kept on reliving it inside your head by thinking more and more about it, by recalling it again and again. So the problem of fear generated by another person is maintained and continued by this thinking. And now thinking comes to help you out. It is devising solutions, it is analyzing the problems, but that is not going to help at all. Moreover, friends, we cannot solve this problem all by ourselves. I cannot solve this problem in which the other person is also involved, who is causing fear in my mind. So that person, what is he getting? What is she getting out of it? Some kind of weird satisfaction, some kind of joy in seeing you upset, in seeing you crying, in seeing you trembling with fear, in the way you lose your confidence, your self-esteem in presence of that person. So that person is holding some kind of power over you that makes you feel afraid, and that is the satisfaction of that person. So that person is not ready to let go of that power very easily. That person is getting some pleasure out of it, some joy out of it, and that person will keep on coming back again and again and again into your life, causing mental torture, causing mental fear in your life, seeing you upset. That person may himself or herself may be crying, may be looking very upset, but that doesn't stop him or her, because that person deep down is getting some kind of satisfaction, some kind of weird sense of enjoyment by seeing you upset, by seeing you full of fear. Another important point, friends, is that your reactions just don't count for that other person, for that bully. You may be shouting back at him, you may be becoming very angry, you may be crying, you may be trembling, you may be requesting that person not to bully you, not to cause fear into your lives. It doesn't matter. As long as you are emotionally upset, that person gets the reward of harassing you, of making you afraid. So your reactions don't count. So this is some kind of a very tricky situation, coming out of which is not possible by your thinking and devising actions, a set of actions, then choosing one and acting according to that. The temporary relief may come your way, but that temporary relief doesn't count for much, because that person will keep on returning back into your life. Another important aspect of this problem you have to understand is nobody else can help you in being free of that fear of that other person. Why is that so? That other person, first of all, cannot be with you 24 hours. Then there are certain relationships, like the relationship between husband and wife, where people avoid interfering. Another thing is that when the other person may bring some kind of a temporary relief into your life, but then you have not become wiser in dealing with the fear that are arising because of that other person's attitude, actions into your life. You have to become wiser. You have to learn the art and science and the actions responsible for eradicating this fear from the roots. You have to burn out that fear, and for becoming that kind of a wise person, you will have to listen to what I have to say now very carefully, very attentively. Another important thing is that we don't want to take help of anybody in this. We are going to do it on our own, standing on our own 2 feet, dealing with all the relationships in our life, so that the fear does not take roots into our mind. Also, we don't want to use this tool of thinking primarily to find the solution that will destroy the roots of fear created by another person. We don't want to use this thinking as a tool. because we have seen that thinking is actually very subtly responsible for creating and maintaining and continuing fear in your head, in your life. So we don't want to use thinking as a tool. And the other important thing is, we want that kind of freedom from fear which will not enter into our feelings, into our thinking, into our action, into our relationships. We want to be completely and totally free of fear of another person in our total being, in our actions, in our thinking, in our feelings, in our relationships, in our life, so that our joy of living is not affected, our fun of living is not affected, our laughter, our peace of mind, our happiness, nothing is affected by that kind of fear. The person may be doing whatever that person can do to make you feel afraid, fearful, but that person will not be effective, will not be impacting any aspect of your life. So keep all these factors in mind when we are going to go and understand what is the correct, right, that simple solution to destroy fear from your total being, from the roots. So before I share with you my understanding about that particular way, a very simple way that will free you of all kinds of fear from all kinds of people in your life, there are few things I want to point out to you. First of all, have that determination to have a life free of that kind of fear. That determination has to go very strong. Your whole being must start vibrating with that determination that at any cost I am going to learn this new way of living, so that the fear gets uprooted from my total being, and that kind of determination is the starting point. So now we are starting from the very beginning. An incident occurs, somebody behaves in a way with you violently, insultingly, rudely, that causes fear in your mind. That when that incident is taken place, then that incident, if it is repeated in your thinking world later on, is the cause of this fear continuing into your life. So one very basic thing that you have to understand is, you have to learn the art and the science of saying goodbye to that particular incident when it is over in your life. Suppose a bully has kind of pressurized the growing child to feel fearful of him, then that child must be made to understand that that incident is over. Now you have to say goodbye to that incident forever. Don't think about it. Although it is not as simple as that, the thinking will come. But then because of that thinking, that child never should search for solutions, should not analyze the situation, should not project images into future which maintain and continue the fever. Same thing for the housewife. When that incident in which the husband was insulting, rude or even violent, that incident, once it is over, should be bid farewell from your total being, understanding the wisdom of doing so. That is very important. And if thinking comes, one has to really very clearly understand that thinking, whatever solution that thinking is suggesting, will never be effective in your life in solving the problem of fear. So that real kind of incident happening in your life, caused by the boss, by the husband, by the friend, by the parent, by the bully in the school, in the office, by the neighbor, all that incident, once it is over, it should be allowed to go. And how is that made possible? This is a very crucial point in our understanding of uprooting fear from our psyche. Friends, when that incident is over, what will make it possible to bid farewell to it once and for all? Friends, when the incident is over, life is bringing new kind of incidents, new kind of people, new set of circumstances in your immediate environment. Get involved with that. Pay attention to them. Whatever you are doing, pay attention to it with full energy, full enthusiasm, full attention. Now, then you have to respond to other set of people. The man from the office comes back to home, then there is wife, there are children. play with them, talk to them, read newspaper, watch television, do anything, but do it with attention, realizing fully well that if that incident is allowed to enter inside the world of your head, then the problem will continue. So beware of this danger sign, that as soon as you recall that incident inside your head again and again and again, the fear will continue. You will never be able to get rid of that fear. So it is the life, your involvement with the happenings in your life, in your immediate environment, with enthusiasm, with energy, with attention, with deep interest, is what will get rid of that fearful incident of the past entering inside your head. Understand this very clearly. It is the happening in your life right now, wherever you are, that set of environment circumstances, you're taking deep interest into that, giving full attention to it, is what will start destroying the root of that fear, because the fear will not be able to get into your world of your head. So self and ego will not get time and energy to get activated there and continue and maintain that fear of that other person in your mind, in your heart. I will share something very important with you now. With the change that has come, with the art that you have learnt of getting rid of the fear by not bringing it into the world of your head, you have become wiser. Now your self-confidence will increase in dealing with the fear from that person every time and any number of times it is arising in your life. When you are not regenerating that fear again and again by bringing it into your memory level, into your thinking level, then your life becomes richer. Your mind is quiet, it is peaceful, it has that confidence to deal with it. Next time that person throws his gestures or actions or words towards you, and previously he was successful in creating fear inside you, but now you have the knack, you have the art of dealing with that fear. So you will be more confident, with more peaceful mind, with more confident mind, you will be able to deal it every time. This, the way that I have outlined, can get rid of all kinds of fear from your life. Not only the fear of a person, but all kinds of fear. Just listen to this video again and again and actually practically use all the steps outlined. Make your understanding very deep rooted, very practical, and then you will find that it is a very effective, very simple way. So instead of thinking, make seeing, listening the tool that will get rid of the fear by becoming very, very attentive in your life. So the seed sown in your immediate environment, by attentively coming alive in that environment, will throw out, destroy all the seeds which are sown by constant thinking, reliving again and again the past incident that are sown inside the world of your head. This new tool of being very alert, very aware, very enthusiastic, very interested in your immediate environment is going to prove very, very beneficial to you. This will show that you value your life, you love your life, and this is what is going to win in getting you freedom from fear, not only from this person, from all persons in all relationship in your life for all time to come. I am stopping this video at this point, friends. I hope you find it useful and like it and share it with friends, family, in your WhatsApp group, etc. If you are not subscribed to my channel Happiness Secret, please do so. Also, if you have any suggestion for a new topic on which you would like me to make a video, then please write that in the comment section. Your comments are always valuable to me. So please share your views, your suggestions in the comment section. To encourage me, friends, it is very important that you always watch my videos from start to finish. Every time you find time to watch them up to the end, that will be my encouragement. Then whatever I have shared with you will go in its totality to you. Subscribing to my channel Happiness Secret and getting it subscribed by other friends and family members, other relatives, then this will be also a great encouragement for me to continuously make more and more videos. I am thanking you all for watching the video to the end. We will meet soon again.